Good morning, this is Mr. Park. So this is my video for March the 17th covering Monday, March 16th's work. We were working with multiplication for today, so as fourth graders it's expected that this should be a really simple review of things before we get into some more difficult multiplication work with the tasks that they were asked to learn this year, which were being able to multiply a 4-digit number or factor by a single-digit number, and then being able to show the steps and correctly solve problems where you do 2-digit factors. So 2 digits on the top, 2 digits on the bottom. So this should be a relatively simple review of some things that they might see working with pictures that show equal groups or arrays or just basic multiplication facts. So here we go. Number 1, Philip has 3 pens. He bought a box of pencils that has 4 times as many pencils as pens. Here are our pens, here are our pencils. What equation shows how many pencils are in the box? So we have 4 groups of 3. The one that's going to match that would be letter B. I'm going to kind of work my way around the page. As you can see, I'm working with Adobe. So instead of scrolling back and forth too much, I'm going to go over to number 3 and then I'll do number 2 and number 5. So number 3, Alma has 8 times as many toy cars as toy trucks. She has 7 toy trucks. Which statement is true? So 56 is 8 times as many as 7. That would be true. So we are only asking for one answer. So if you know your math facts, that would already give it to you. Some other things to watch out for. 42 is 7 times as many as 8. It uses the right factors, but it's not the right answer. 8 times less than 7. So that means we would have to be getting a smaller number, not a larger number at the answer. And then 7 times as many as 6 is 42. This is a correct answer. 7 times 6 is in fact 42, but it doesn't match the numbers that they're giving us in the problem. So sometimes just because you find a right answer in the problem doesn't mean that that's the answer that they're asking for. So that's something to be very careful of as we get closer to doing the state testing, assuming that we do the state testing. But that is a common trick, especially for older students. You're old enough to understand that there could be more than one correct answer, but they want the answer that matches what's actually in the problem. Number 2, Hannah has 3 times as many playing cards as Travis. She made an array to show her playing cards. So we have 3 rows. So that's going to show 3 groups. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 playing cards. 8 times 3 would give us 24. So this one's addition. We're not going to do it. This is correct. It's 4 times 6 is 24, but that doesn't match the array, which means letter C would be our answer. Letter D is also a correct math fact, but it does not match the array. Number 5, a hand towel costs $4. A bath towel costs 5 times as much. Wow, that's a lot. So 4 times 5, or 5 times 4 equals 20, would give us the cost of the bath towel. So this is not even a correct math fact, and it's subtraction. We have addition. That is a correct fact. Letter D is also a correct math fact, but doesn't use the factors that we'd use to multiply. Number 6, if we have mark all that apply, that means we will have more than one correct answer. So let's take a look at all the options. Which statement represents our model? So we have 4 rows of 1, 2, 3. So 12 equals 4 times 3. That one will work. 3 times 4 equals 12. That one would work. 12 is 3 times as many as 5. No, that is not correct. It would be 3 times as many as 4. Or 4 times as many as 3, which is letter D. 4 more than 3, so that would be 4 plus 3 is 12. That is not correct. 3 times as many as 4 is 12. That is correct. So we should have letter A, letter B, letter D, and letter F for that. Number 8, is each statement true? So you may have to do a little bit of work to figure out all of these, but most of them should be easy to figure out. So 40 is 5 times as many as 8. If I count by 5 8 times, I will get 40. So that means it's not going to be 4 times as many as 8. 8 times as many as 6 is 48. If I struggle with my 8s, I could take the part that I already have with 5 times 8, add another group of 8, which would give me 6 groups of 8. That would give me 48. 5 times as many as 9, so we're working with a different math fact instead of working with 8s. 5 times as many as 9 is 45. That is correct. If I counted by 5s 9 times, I should get 45. And 7 times as many as 7 is 54. That is not a correct math fact. It would be 49. Now, how you would find that, what I would normally recommend is start with 5 times 7 and then count it by 7s if you don't have them memorized. Number 9, complete the equation for this comparison statement. So I'm going to switch over so I can actually type. So 36 equals 4 times 9. That's all we had to do for that one. So, and you could also do 9 times 4 because of the commutative property of multiplication. We can have either of those numbers in either order and it'd still be a correct answer. Number 12, apologies for the way this showed up. This particular screen capture didn't work very well for this page. So our basic facts, we have 9 miles. We're doing times 2 for this one, and we're doing times 4 for this one. So if I scroll back up, I'm intentionally skipping part A because if they're showing their work to figure out the answer for part B, which just asks you to give the totals for Jenna and Brian, we shouldn't need to do that. So Jenna is going to be 9 times 2, so 9 times 2, that's going to equal 18. And then the other one, Brian, would be 9 times 4 equals 36. And if I decided to draw pictures, I could make an array. So I could start by doing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can drop down a second row, and that's going to show the amount that Jenna had. If I wanted to keep going, then I could add 2 more rows and keep going to show how many Brian had, and then count them up individually. So that's going to cover all of the homework problems for today. There will be times that I will do things where I ask the students to go ahead and write down an answer to explain what they're working on. That will happen in situations where I want them to be able to talk about or think their way through a process to make sure that they understand it correctly. On the state test, they're not going to ask as often for the math test to write out long answers. They will ask you to select pictures or to be able to create something, but usually not a long multiple sentence answer. So hope this video is helpful for you. I will see you all tomorrow.